Y.I.L.P, i.e. Y.I.L.P Integration Livelihood Improvement Project, International EV, project to improve living conditions through the integration of young people, Super-Regional Western African Diaspora Association in Leipzig. A project to promote art and culture and social cohesion and peace is the International Inter- and Sociocultural Africa Festival 1000 Drums for Leipzig, since 2019. Information about the concept of the International Inter- and Sociocultural Africa Festival of the 1000 Drums, as a common credo. The drum knows no borders, no countries, no skin color. The drum speaks the language of the heart and connects people. Mr. Damien Bilundo, founder of the ensemble Andungwikina and one of more than 100 so far musicians participating in the Festival of the 1000 Drums. The Africa Festival 1000 Drums Tromelm has been inviting drummers and guests to a joint event in the city of Leipzig every year since 2019 to make music, to concerts and workshops, thus making it possible artists, residents, and guests a forum for encounters in this context, in addition to concerts of African music that are as barrier-free as possible in an emphatically non-commercial or less commercial format. DJ music, dance, and talks are held on a weekend in summer from midday onwards. Drumming and other workshops for children, young people, and adults in a public square in the city for 2 days. An African bazaar will be created with information stands, a culinary range of African dishes and African goods, clothing, handicrafts, music, etc. accompanied by activities for children. The events are divided between seating and standing areas and a stage. Accredited photojournalists are allowed to document what is happening in compliance with the law. Sound recordings and part of the moving image recordings of the concerts are made for quite a number of domestic and foreign participants and later processed for them. The annual interactive community concert of the 2030 drums, after instruction and under the guidance of experienced musicians, the guests present are united in playing together. All our guests are expressly invited to play along, to bring their own drums and other musical instruments to the concert and thus to a jam session, to get to know new things, invited, free to do so, to dance to their mood. Target Group R. The festival is dedicated to and organized by people with an African migration background and roots, citizens of Leipzig and national guests, who thus make an important contribution to integration, but above all the music friends, adults, young people, and families with children, all people who are peacefully interested in the continent of Africa. Antara. Announced in good time, socially promoted, documented and virtualized, the festival should be perceived as an international music event beyond Leipzig and the Free State of Saxony, and also be able to have a touristic effect. As a community, we can, according to our aim, strengthen the acceptance of African citizens in Saxony and Leipzig through the now regular, open, and non-commercial event in which new perspectives of the continent of Africa are shown. Existing clichés and stereotypes about Africa should and can experience a change, now effective towards cosmopolitanism. Democratic culture, exchange and free participation are demonstrated, mutual acceptance and personal dignity are promoted. The festival also opens up another forum for African music in Europe and overseas, one of its listeners and promoters, and invites to dialogues that seek to change prejudiced attitudes across generations and allow people to experience Africa's cultural diversity. The culture of Leipzig as well as that of the Free State of Saxony and the Federal Republic of Germany New York thus create a festival of peaceful encounters of barrier-free music combining artistic genres. They create possible better understanding and promote general charity. Every year we try to reach an increasing number of guests, observers, and interested parties in a better prepared way and hope that the project will one day be integrated into the larger, existing Africa festivals in Germany, Europe, and the world. The African community in Leipzig will open up on these days and invites you to another free festival of African music. We are attentive in the preparation and will also complete the follow-up and accounting of the 1000 drums. The schedule we have included for implementation is realistic based on experience. New artists who may not be able to afford their fees and travel expenses should also appear on our internet presentations and will move up for the next few years. Please wish our honorary and non-commercial project success and support us in your possibilities. We are happy to receive advice and help. Copyright Y.I.L.P. International EV, April 23, 2023, Automatic Google Incorporated Translation. Office postal address, Rodelstrasse 22, 04229 Leipzig. Email info@yilp.de. Websites, yilp.de, 1000drums.yilp.de. Festival blog, Chairman, Abdu Jarju. Declaration of Y.I.L.P. International EV on the 5th International Inter and Sociocultural Africa Festival. 1000 Drums. 10 reasons for a possible promotion of the festival as a socio-cultural project. First, in contrast to a purely musical event, our festival has the very important sole characteristic of offering barrier-free, entrance fee-free, i.e. free of charge to visitors, concerts of African music, dance, and artistry/ballet performances, as well as percussion workshops for children, young people, and adults. The African Diaspora and Cultural Community in Leipzig, West Saxony/Central Germany opens on these days for all interested parties. We expect guests from all over Germany, and also especially new Leipzigers have been the target group of the event in previous years. In this context, please reread our project description attached to our project grant applications, and also consult public documents and press releases from our festival website in blog format at the internet address, https://1000drums.yilp.de regarding objectives and the festival philosophy. In our experience, even a small admission fee would negatively affect the popularity and impact of this peacefully inviting open festival. Second, we would like to strengthen the intercultural understanding and the tolerance for African inhabitants, families in Leipzig and Saxony, thereby generation spreading to break down so far existing prejudice attitudes. Help with the goal of strengthening a cosmopolitan municipality and a cosmopolitan free state Saxonia in central Germany. Third, our music and dance performances are intended to inspire and encourage our own artistic activity. Our percussion workshops provide free instruments to try out. Experienced music teachers explain in a friendly and open-minded way to beginners as well as to advanced students the essence and structures, techniques of the demanding and, compared to the local musical tradition, serious and classical percussion music of West Africa. In addition, an interactive community concert is part of the festival. We invite you to play your own instruments, not only drums, together with an ensemble leader. Depending on the participation, this jam session can last more than 45 minutes. Fourth, our festival contributions will be virtualized. In the meantime, we prefer this term virtualization to the concept of the online streaming concert, which often has been used in the corona year. In doing so, we renounce an unnecessary claim to bind listeners temporarily to a common pursuit of the musical event, and rather allow all those who are distant in time and place to repeatedly access the post-produced, aspired, also possible this year thanks to the event technology of the Cultural Factory. Work 2, multi-track sound recordings via our internet presence and connected services such as Google Incorporated YouTube. Internet website visitor statistics now show international growing attention to the festival, especially from overseas African American communities. Fifth, in addition to music and dance, we would also like to provide a proportional forum for visual artists, such as graphic artists, painters, who can exhibit their artwork free of charge on the festival grounds or near the stage. Of course, we are open to non-partisan information booths and partial events related to Africa. Sixth, the musical spectrum of the performances should appeal to young as well as older listeners of different musical interests, ranging from traditional, to folklore, to musical fusion, and meanwhile recognized by the UNESCO as an independent art form, African reggae. In addition, African DJ artists will present current music trends in the field of dance music. Seventh, with the help of the requested funding, we are striving to be able to guarantee all participants' fees and honorariums oriented to the minimum tariff. Eighth, in addition, the festival is to provide a forum, a place of networking, and an opportunity for continuous, i.e. renewable, presentation of their artistic development for artists based in Leipzig and Saxony-Anhalt and the surrounding area, as well as for artists on international tours of Germany. The contact and exchange between artists and audience on eye level is explicitly desired and possible. Musicians who were prevented from performing in previous years due to logistical difficulties will be included in the program in subsequent years. We welcome the participation of all interested parties, also in virtual format via the internet, by allowing them to create their own presentations in text, image, and sound, video, if desired. 9. The festival should grow. In the future, we would like to strengthen the project with your help and also seek federal funding, through the Federal Cultural Foundation, through the Cultural Exchange of the Goethe Institute, and funding from the European Community, for musicians and ensembles from France and the Netherlands, for example, in cooperation with Eastern and Southern European countries. The festival organizers of our association have collegial contacts with well-known greats of African music. 10th. Finally, we would like to remind you that all members of the association that are involved in the year-round festival preparation and aftercare work on an honorary and unpaid basis with the aim of affirming and strengthening the common good and social peace in Leipzig, Central Germany, Saxony, and the Federal Republic of Germany. Extremist attitudes and hostility towards nations are to be countered in a universal and constructive way. *, we thank you for your kind, unbiased, well-meaning review of our initial project funding applications this year and for your support of our joint endeavor. We will be happy to answer further questions in writing and verbally, therein truthfully accountable at all times. Y.I.L.P. International EV, March 10, 2003.